Welcome to another episode. Today, the question is, will humans ever be able to discover everything? I'll repeat. Will the humans ever be able to discover everything? So, if the questioner is referring to the material things or the psychological, even physical, not only physical but mental things or psychological things in the whole world, no, that is not possible. It is an impossible task because every day there are a lot of inventions, and for millions of years human beings have accumulated knowledge, things. So physical things is not possible. Even the knowledge is so vast, and we have seen in one episode how whatever is being published or in the net in a day, if somebody sits there and spends 8 hours a day with a fast reading, it would take him for minimum 45 days to even to read it, not about understanding. So it is an impossible task, whether it is knowledge or physical things, to know about everything. But then there is a way to know everything. It is from the Upanishads. Vedanta solves this problem. The Vedanta says, the Upanishad says, know that by knowing which everything is known. Know that by knowing which everything is known. That is from Chandogya Upanishads. So from the Upanishads, how this is possible, we'll see it through a story from the Upanishads. The Upanishads, it says, know that by knowing which everything is known. How it is possible? Let us see from the story of Sitakama. Long ago in India, there was a boy named Swataketu. He was 12 years old and he has not gone to school. Olden day school in India is called Gurukulam. The students reside with the teacher, spend many years doing the household chores and learning. Both go together. They stay there. It is like a residential school where you have to stay with the family of the teacher. So that is the tradition, Gurukula tradition. But Swataketu had not gone to school. His parents had kept him till the age of 12 because there was so much of work to do in the house, and he had no brothers or sisters. He was the only boy. So his parents kept him till the age of 12. He was helping them in their work. So he has not gone so far to any learned teacher's home to study. So one day his father called Swataketu, you have to now go to school. It's too late. You are 12 years old. You are a Brahmin of a well-known family, and no one in our family has failed to live up to that. They have studied all the scriptures. They have been educated, and they have been well versed with all the knowledge of the Vedas, Upanishads, and all the other scriptures. So if you don't study, nobody will respect you. So Swataketu was sent off to her teacher's house, and there he learned a lot of scriptures, the Vedas, and all the subjects, all Hindu scriptures. And it was 12 years. He spent 12 years in the Guru or the teacher's home and studied all the major scriptures. He had been a very good student, and the master appreciated him for that. So he was having a very good opinion of himself, that he had studied almost everything, what is essential. So he walked proudly, smiled very little, and when the 12 years was over, when he was 24, he was sent back to his parents, having completed his studies. And his parents were very eager to receive him. 12 years they have missed their young boy. Now he is a grown-up gentleman and with full of knowledge. They were happy to receive him. But his father noticed his boy was a little proud of his studies, having studied all the scriptures. He had that ego, I know everything. It was conceited. No other words could describe that attitude. So one day he called Swataketu and tell him, my boy, since you consider yourself a very serious person and a very learned person, let me test your knowledge. Did you ask your teacher that by knowledge of which one hears the unhearable, perceives the unperceivable, and knows the unknowable? So what is that? Did you ever ask your teacher, or did the teacher ask you, tell you by which one you hear the unhearable, by which one you perceive the unperceivable, and by which one you know the unknowable? And Swataketu replied, how, sir, can there be any such instruction? I did not study that. How is it possible? His father replied, why? It is possible. By knowing a lump of clay, you can know whatever objects made of clay. Can we not? The shapes of other things such as pot, toy, elephant, whatever you create out of it, a statue, are just names given to that lump of clay. And once you know the clay, you know everything. All the reality behind that. Similarly, golden ornaments. Everything has gold. That forms different ornaments. So once you know that the element which forms that, you know everything. The shapes are different, but you know the basis. It's a clay. It's a gold. So whatever material of what it is made of, material of the shapes, what it is made of, like clay, gold or iron, once you understand the basis, you understand everything. So Swataketu understood that part of it. Yes, father, he replied. Once I understand the basis of it, you know everything made out of it, whether it is clay, gold or iron or any other material. The shapes do not matter. the basics you understood. But maybe my teachers did not know that. They did not teach me about it. So can you tell more about it? So his father agreed, and the instruction given by him was remembered by Swataketu, and he passed it on to the generation of students. This takes up a large portion of this Upanishad. So now we'll see further into that. His father told, in the beginning, my boy, there was just being and nothing else. Some people say there was non-being and nothing else. But being came out of it. But how being can come out of non-being? That is not possible. So there must have been being. So in the beginning there was just being and nothing else. That being felt lonely. It thought, well, let me be many. Let me produce other things. So it produced different elements of this universe, one after another. In this way, Swataketu's father went up to explain him the various stages of creation. There is more to growing up than you may think. Facts gathered from books and teachers are very well. But wisdom is to know that they all come from one source. So Swataketu's father explained from being how many things emerge in detail. And he told, knowledge can be acquired from books, but wisdom is to know that all these creations come from one source. And the ultimate wisdom is to know that you are that being. You are not different. And further he continued, every day when the people go to a dreamless sleep, whether it is human beings or all other beings, they enter into the one source, the being from which they have all come. Then how they do not know it? Swataketu asked. It is like this. When the bees make the honey, they collect from different flowers and reduce them to one juice, the honey, the nectars of trees, from the blossom, mango tree, or it may be orange blossom. So it is different from different flowers. The honeybee collects the honey, but all form into one syrup of honey. It cannot be differentiated. Like that, all these beings, when they are in dreamless sleep, they enter into that being, and in the waking state, they come back to the world of difference. A man, a tiger, a wolf, a worm, a fly, they become. They do not know they have come back from the same source, the same being. So something like a hidden treasure, if it is lying in a field, people who do not know it will walk over that again and again. It will not be found. So just like that, all of us go day after day into this embrace of the divine being, but we do not realize it. The self of this whole universe is the same as the seed from which it has come. And it is you, Swataketu, you are that. The self of the whole universe is the same self which resides in all of us, in Swataketu also. And you are that, we are that. That we should remember. That is the teaching, ultimate teaching. But Swataketu had a doubt. But sir, being has no name and form. How could this universe with all its name and form come out of that? Okay, his father said, I'll explain that. How out of the formless the form has come. How the being which has no form or name, and out of that has come all these things, the whole universe with names and forms. How it has come? Let me explain that. So bring me a fig seed from our fig tree. So the Ketu went out and came back with a fig fruit from the tree. Now break it. Yes, it is broken. What do you see now? Seeds, hundreds of seeds in there. Now break one of the seeds. That is difficult, but let me try. Okay, here it is done. So do you see anything inside that? No, there is nothing inside. There were a lot of seeds. When I have broken the seed, there is nothing inside. It is like empty space. But just see that Swadeketu. You do not see anything. You do not see a fig tree there. No image of fig tree. It is almost empty. But from this seed, inside of the seed, the whole fig tree goes. Like that. It is the same. So you see empty space in that seed, and a whole fig tree grows out of it from that almost emptiness. Same way from the being which is formless and nameless, from that all this develops. And you are that. But Swadeketu was puzzled. He had a doubt in his mind. But then, okay, even the seed I can see. But why I am unable to see the being? That is the doubt of Swadeketu. He asked his father, when everything is, even the seed I can see, but you are telling again it is formless and nameless, but I don't see that. Okay, let me explain that. You bring a lump of salt, put it in a vessel with water, and I will meet you in the morning. So off they went to bed. It was night time. Next day morning, he called Swadeketu. He asked him to bring back the lump of salt. Swadeketu brought the vessel. He looked inside the vessel. He said, no, I can't identify the salt. It is dissolved. I put yesterday in that, so now it is completely dissolved. Okay. You take from the surface of the vessel a little bit of water and taste it. He said it is salty. Okay. Take from the other side. Okay. Everywhere it is salty. He tasted from different portions of the vessel. Everywhere it is salty. Okay. Now pour up the water, leaving a little at the bottom. His father told Swadeketu almost emptied the pot vessel, leaving little bit of water at the bottom, and his father asked him to taste that too. That was also salty. So his father told him, you did not perceive the salt in that water. You have put the salt, but you did not perceive. It is dissolved completely. And anywhere you taste, that salty taste is there. This salty at the top, at the bottom, at the sides, everywhere you taste it. So like that, the being is invisible throughout this universe, in everyone's body, in your body, in your eyes, in your tongue. It is there, invisible. Like the salt in the water. So there is a way to discover it. You have discovered the salt in the water by tasting it. So there are other methods like meditation and discrimination, which he explains later. We will not go into that now. So finally he told, the self of this whole universe is the same as the tiny seed it came from, and you are that. Swadaki. That is the final scene. So, how to know everything? The answer is, you know yourself, you know everything. You understand yourself, you understand everything. By yourself, it is meant that is the basis of you, from which you have come, the source. You call it soul, Brahman, life, whatever. It is that source, being. So with this, we have answered the question. We will end this episode. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Thank you.